There is a massive, largely unforeseen economic sledgehammer that is about to come crashing down on the finances of middle and upper middle income Americans across this country. There's been this dirty little financial secret that many have been keeping hidden from their accountants, from their spouses, from everyone around them. We began talking about this 6 months ago, but now the time has come to pay the piper, and in this case, the madam. Because a great many middle income and upper middle income American, mostly men, have been spending a great deal of time down at the financial whorehouse, so to speak. I counseled against getting out of cryptocurrency as soon as you possibly could if you were invested in it at all, because it is going away, and now the slide has accelerated, and there are places that are not allowing people to withdraw their finances. They're holding on to them for the good of the community, and that's kind of the key here. You see, it was something that was already baked in, and they knew it. The idea that there was going to be an end date. Most didn't want to accept it. They wanted to sit in the dark, in the corner, and watch everything going on at the little cryptocurrency whorehouse and pick their proper moment. They were going to be the one. They were going to be the one that was going to come out on top. They just had to wait and see how many were going to come and go through the front door and who was going to win and who was going to lose. And everybody knew. Everybody knew the only person who was going to win was the owner of the whorehouse and the madam. That was it. People still showed up, and they bought the dip, and they brought their giant wads of cash. And they showed up, and boy, it was a good time. It was a good time. In fact, it was so good a time that they would come home and show their spouses, see, look how good a person I've been. I've been able to save this amount of money, and this amount of money, and this amount of money. You see, all the while, hiding all their finances. That without those finances, they wouldn't have had money to save. Falling for it every single time, not seeing the real truth, not seeing what was happening, the siphoning off of wealth. Bitcoin has begun its final slide. It went from in the 30s to now I believe it's down into 22, and they're saying there's nothing that's going to stop it now. The biggest holder of Bitcoin, a company called MicroStrategy, has what they call a margin call at 21, which is likely going to show up here in the next 24 hours. And when they start dumping, margin call means they're going to pull their support. It's over. It's absolutely over. And there's going to be a lot of women, and I don't mean to be sexist here, but there's a lot of married couples, and they're going to be looking at the little kitties that they have stashed and counting the money and go, wait a minute. There used to be $9,000 here. Now there's $900. What's been happening? Why are we tapping the savings? What's going on? I thought we were doing good. I thought we had everything squared away. I mean, you were bringing home money every week and saving, and we were doing all these good things, and where is it now? And then when the explanation comes and the shock on the face of the spouse comes, you were doing what with our money? And now what's happened to it? This is where all this was coming from? This entire last so many months has been, and of course the explanation will be, it's the Zionist bankers. It's the Zionist bankers. I have to blame them. It's the Illuminati. And the chemtrails affected my thinking, and I couldn't believe. You see, there's going to be a lot of women wake up and look across the bed at what they thought was this big, hunky, studly, smart guy with a great mind for finances, and all they're going to see is a sad, pathetic little geek with mommy issues. They're going to have that moment, and this is going to happen over and over and over again across this country. Expectations will be shattered. The protests will come. Well, you can't eat dollars. We can't eat these either. And then when the lights go out, everything is going to change. There are going to be people that only a matter of a couple years ago who thought they had things set for 15, 20 years, retirement, money put back, that are going to be destitute. And they're going to kick over into their zombie brains. And they're going to lash out. And they're going to blame everybody else. And then the depression will hit. Oh, but Florida Maquis, you don't understand the blockchain. Clearly, you don't either. 23,151, and that was actually up from what it was not too long ago. Let's refresh and see here. 23,191. Just since 12:35 a.m., it was at 26,794. To show you what's really happened here over the last 6 months. Right here is where I gave my warning way back here in 14th of December when it was about 48, got up to about 50. So if you had heeded the Florida Maquis warning, you would be 54.3% richer right now. It's a scam. But it goes to a larger argument, a larger, truly psychological argument. We talk about psychological operations almost every single day here. It's really about the mind, and it's nothing new. Truly, it's nothing new. Julius Caesar said, "It is easier to find men who will volunteer to die, run off into battle and die that glorious, honorable death, than to find those who are willing to endure pain with patience." See, he couldn't find men that could handle a siege, meaning just simply sitting outside of a city and blockading it and waiting for those inside to be starved out. Winning a war without literally having to enter any amount of real combat. The Bible echoes this sentiment. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. And I threw this image in there because a lot of people see images like this, and they don't realize what it represents. And I put this image together when I was talking about it, and people really got confused. Why should we listen to the Florida Maquis? He's just this channel that talks about Antarctica, and he talks about Venezuela, and he talked about the issue with the Fitzgerald. And sometimes he just shows random pictures of girls in bikinis. You see, it's the idea. The reason I did this is I did this in passing once, and there was so many people that got upset about it because I showed a picture of a beach in Florida. And I thought, wow, I wonder what these people act like if they were actually at a real beach in Florida. See, guys, if you don't possess enough chill to deal with girls at the beach, you don't possess the ability to judge things like Bitcoin or your own finances. You see, there were those many years ago who thought that, well, if a woman shows up like this at the beach, that could cause a man to stumble. And so many people agreed with you back in the 20s that they sent men out to beaches with little rulers to start measuring. This was a real thing. You see, but America got past this, and they said, you know what? When we read our Bible, it says over and over again, this is on the man, not on her. This is on the man. If he doesn't possess enough discipline and strength in his mind to deal with it, it's on him. So we can't be that society. We can't be that society that blames everybody and everything else. That's what Bitcoin was about. There were those that hadn't achieved in their life what they thought they should achieve, and they weren't as wealthy as they thought they should be. And they blamed the Zionist bankers and the dollar and all this, the Illuminati. And so they created these Ponzi schemes, these crypto schemes, and made these big promises that, yeah, you'll have this wonderful life and you'll be able to live simply out in the middle of nowhere, completely free of control of garbage. Absolute garbage. Has never been true. It has never been true. So this is all tied together. It shows weakness of mind. It shows a weakness of mind. That if you don't possess enough chill to deal with this, even here on your phone or whatever device you're watching on, to the point where you have to protest, you would never be able to handle it in real life. And you can't handle this in real life. You don't need to be making decisions with finances. Pirates. There's a place not far from here. Place fueled by plunder. Charles Vane, the actor, Zach McGowan. This is an actual quote from him. Some people think that the people that they lead are too stupid to be told the truth, and thus they must be lied to in order for a greater good to be accomplished. Some people believe in the system that has been set up where the strongest among us is going to lead us in a fight. Otherwise, everyone is the same. That's the doctrine of pirates. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And here's the irony of all ironies. And anybody who spent any amount of time in the gym knows this. You don't look like this. Very few men have the ability to look like this at all with any level of discipline. But you have to be in it to win it for the long term. There are no pills. There are no quick fixes. There are no 90-day diets. There are no ways to get this other than long-term pain and discipline. Just like Julius Caesar said, it is easier to find men that will die than those who will endure pain with patience. This is pain with patience. It's the only way you look like this. Only way. Those who aren't willing to endure pain with patience will endure pain one way or the other. And this is just the reality. It's always been the reality, whether it was the 1700s or now. There are going to be a lot of people trying to think up excuses about why all the big promises are falling apart. And this is going to be something that's going to blow a lot of people's mind. This is another one of those Ponzi scheme coins called Celsius. Due to extreme market conditions today, we're announcing that Celsius is pausing all withdrawals, swap, and transfers between accounts. Why? Acting in the interest of our community is our top priority. You mean socialism? See, the good of all here outweighs the good of you. The good of all. Now, who would have thought you would have saw or heard such a socialist, communistic statement from a cryptocurrency? Fed fears spark sudden billion-dollar crypto crash. All of them. Toast. Toast. They're gone. And this was when it dropped to 27. I wonder what's down to now. 23,191. Oh, looks like a little 23.3, but this tells the real story. It's over. The scheme is over. People can't figure it out. But when they look back, they'll figure it out and wonder, what are we going to do now? Now that the lights are out and we've lost everything. I'll leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.